Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com and Wingboarding.com. I hope I don't lose my voice in this, but it's getting there. Well, I gotta say, Duotone has brought out the new slick model wing, and a lot of people have been asking us, will you please do a review as soon as you get this in hand and put some time on it? Well, here it is, and I want to talk about this new wing and people say, well, it's not new. The slick itself is an older model name, but in receiving this wing, going through it, putting the boom in, the way it handles and feels, it's a completely different wing than the old model. So a lot of people have asking that, is it just an upgrade with small changes? No. My opinion, this is a brand spanking new wing. Total new design, and I think a lot of it, I'm looking at it, is based around a lot of the good characteristics that Ken has done in the unit wing, which is one of their absolute top wings with the dual handles. Again, this is their boom model, and I have flown a couple boom model wings, and by far, this one definitely takes the cake. To me, a lot of people ask why. Well, the feel of the wing, the balance of a wing is very, very important when you spend a lot of time out there in high winds, low winds, and the way that the wing holds its shape. Ken has got this stuff down. I've got to tell you, one of the cleanest wings out there with the most taut sail in the industry that I have ever flown. And what does that make a difference? Huge. There is literally no flutter in this wing. None at all. And it doesn't matter what you do, how you pull it into the wind. He has got it down with little small tip battens out on the very tips where the decrease of tension or the less tension is. He's got a little batten, and that virtually stops everything from fluttering when you pull it into attack, upwind, or those aggressive type maneuvers. And overall, that makes the wing more powerful. It flows when you go into the pump. There's no flap in the sail at all. It's just a solid feel type wing, so all the energy that you pump into the wing, it gives back to you, the rider. So again, this is the boom version. And it goes from the boom, there's special attachment in the front, and the boom will work on, once you have a boom, it will work on all your other wings as well. So it slips into the pocket in the back, and then it locks into the front. Once the wing is pumped up, it takes the shape, and that's why your strut is tapered like this. So it does separate out, and when you pump it, it pulls all that tension and keeps it a very, very solid feel. Advantages to boom and handles, I've got to tell you personally, I believe that this is the direction of the industry in the wing designs. When you get into the stiff handles and the booms, the direct feel that you have in that wing, if you have not tried one out, put some time in on it. It gives you advantages. The boom gives the center advantage. So if you want to flag and grab the center of it and still have power and manipulate the wing with one hand, I mean, you can spin these wings around like nothing and have direct control and absolute direct response. That will change it. It definitely changes on the maneuvers that I'm allowed or able to do when I'm out there in the water. When I'm backwinding and I'm pushing into the wind, it is a direct control, and I can hold that wing completely solid in whatever I want to do in using the boom. So they call this the SLS version. Sorry, my voice. The SLS version is using the same material that they started using in the SLS kites. What is that? It's a very stiffer, more directional type material that holds its stiffness in the warp. And that's basically, if you get a piece of this and you try to maneuver it sideways, it's called a stable, very stable across the bias. And you have to have a very stable material in any of the casings. What that does is creates stiffness in that wing or that kite wherever it's used. So that's what you're mainly going to gain in using the SLS type materials. They call theirs the Penta TX, and then there's a Lula and Hukipa, all these type materials that are a thinner, based around a polyester or the high tension PUs like a Spectra or Dyneema in that, but they are a little bit more expensive. But what you mainly gain is not the weight in a wing, you gain the stiffness because the material difference that is in a wing is very, very small. So let's just say here's the standard unit in the back. This one comes in at 4.9 pounds. This one with a carbon boom comes in at 4.75. So it's not a big difference. I could throw some water on it and the weight is going to be about the same. But what you are going to gain is the stiffness in that wing and the rigidity. So you pump it up, what they call an 8.5 PSI in these smaller 4-meter wings, and you're going to get this rigid, solid feel. So when you get that pump. So what are the differences that they made, and why would this design be better in winging? What I really enjoy about the Slick is their squared off tips. And everybody thinks, it's not that big of a difference. But between the unit and the Slick and the span is about 3 to 4 inches at each wingtip. That little bit can keep you from hanging that wing when you're really powering it and you have it on your side. So that is one of the big design things that I see between the unit and the Slick version in the overall shaping. And of course, they don't give us the spreadsheet and say this is what we changed. We kind of have to figure it out. So it's my opinion as I get real close and do some measuring. Now, to add that distance back in there to get that surface area that you take off in a tip, he's also gained that in the chord of the sail itself. So the chord is measured from the front, leading edge to the trailing edge to get that surface area back in there to get that 4 meter. And that gives it a little bit deeper sail, so you gain that back off of those wingtips. The other thing that I see between the unit and the Slick is the setback. So that the angle back of the wing, this one's a little bit flatter and a little bit pulled further forward on the Slick than it is on the unit. To me, in testing wings that are in those shapes, that causes a little bit more stability in the wing. So if you're flagging it out, it has less tendency to wobble or just off balance. It causes a little bit more stability in the wing, which can be a plus and a negative. But overall, it's better. There's the stability doesn't stop me from doing any of my tacks and jibes and quick wing movements. But I got to tell you, they do such a great job. The Duotone, Ken Winters is a heck of a great designer, and seeing what he comes up with and looking at all the little fine points that they do throughout their wings is phenomenal, and it transfers into riding as well. So if you get a chance to get one of these out and do some testing on it, I do advise you try out the booms and the handles in these new wings. It will show you all the manipulation of the things that you can do with them. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Wingboarding.com and Kiteboarding.com to show you the brand new Slick boom wing from Duotone. Hey guys, Jeff here again. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. It really helps us out in making these videos. Have a great day.